So I kind of decided I want an establishing shot for vlog things, and this is it. It is like 4:30. It's 4:33, and I have to drink 2 cups of cranberry juice, and that's the last thing I get to eat or drink before they put me under anesthetic. Oh, sushi boy. Sushi boy. Oh, such a good boy. Oh, he's such a good boy. He's such a good boy.
Guy? No, I think he gave you a
No,
warning.
he gave you a warning.
That's right, too. Yeah, I've been actually stopped in the last year, or year and a half. I got stopped more for police.
Well, I think they can. I was gonna ask, are you recording?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I might swipe some of that from you
right.
and include that.
Right.
Yeah, just because I thought so, but I wasn't entirely sure.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
This is always handy.
Well, and on it, because we've gone through so much so far. So we've gone through the registration, the IV, and everything, and now it's just time for waiting
For the doctor.
for the doctor. Yeah,
Yeah, and as soon as he's done talking, you're happy. The anesthesia people and stuff.
yeah,
Then off you go.
yeah. Exactly. It's gonna be like no time has passed at all.
Like the lady said, it takes more time to inspect the work that's done and make sure it's all good
Yeah,
than it does
to actually do the work. Yeah,
Well, which is good though, and I'm glad they're gonna check your gallbladder while they're in there too.
yeah,
Yeah, just to have a look at everything, so they, everybody guesses, right? Ever since your gallbladder operation,
yeah,
everybody's been guessing about things. At least today, they're actually gonna see it.
yeah. Exactly.
Tell us if they see something.
Do nice pathology, get some slides made and stuff.
Well, and since they're in there, if they see something, maybe they can touch it up before they come in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they said that for my endometriosis,
Right.
If she notices any lesions or anything like that from or cysts, that she would be removing them
Oh, cool.
uh,
And that'll help
as well
a
as
lot.
she can. Exactly. Like I was saying to a friend of mine that.
Just hurt when they get expanded.
Well, and it's my daily pain is probably going to stay about the same. She said it might reduce by up to 15% on the daily, but my like very bad pain that like lays me over
Right.
should be all gone.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So it's
Put a little pain down, and then like with the cleanup job,
yeah,
that
exactly.
should be pretty good.
Yeah. No.
It's just a matter of don't move too much and rip anything.
Yeah, exactly. Don't play too much with the dog.
We got Danny, we got the walker.
Yeah,
and we got Peach Boy.
we've got a plan.
Yeah,
We are prepared people.
we can get him in. He'll come in and visit.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's your boy.
So surgery went really well. They found a cyst and decided to send everything to pathology because of it. But other than that, it was a very routine surgery. I have had difficulty controlling my pain, difficulty sleeping, but all of the nurses have been fantastic about working with me on that. And I have been dissociating less in the last couple of hours, but definitely when I first woke up. And for the first handful of hours, quite a lot, which is obviously difficult to deal with. But I'm strong, and I know that it's safe here, and that I have so many supports around me, so it's been good. I said before the surgery that this is the most exciting day of my life, probably to date, and I still think that with all of the difficulties that I'm experiencing now, that's still true. I might get to go home tonight, which would be the most ideal, because I miss my dog, I miss my sushi boy, and I can't wait for this new chapter of my life to start. Something they don't tell you when you're having a hysterectomy is that, and it makes sense, but it hurts to pee so bad. And I just hit my first major milestone because I was able to pee like a couple dribbles on my own. So go team! So, I have unsalted crackers, which are disgusting, but I just threw up more than I've ever thrown up in my life, and I feel so much better, but they think it's because I haven't had any solid food today. So any tips, eat solids. So hilarious, literally as I'm complaining about eating shitty crackers, can I flip it? I can't. But one of the nurses got me some toast, some illegal toast. I'm so happy. This is going to be like the best meal I've had all day. That's not true. I've eaten like 3 things of pudding, which I'm not going to complain about whatsoever. But definitely, if past Brielle had known that toast was going to be so good, never would have knocked toast in their life. So I just had my IV flushed for the in the last hour, probably the 12th time, but we finally got it going. I was able to void my bladder almost completely for the first time since getting here, which is the reason that I had to spend the night is because I was retaining fluids, and so this is very exciting news. I've never been so proud as an adult of being able to pee, and I am at a very, very manageable pain level, and I'm finally getting to sit here and be like, this has happened. I was trying to think of how my pain could be rated, and the pain that I felt after surgery that we are pushing heavy painkillers on is approximately what my period pain was. And so just looking back and thinking of all those years that I was suffering, and I didn't, I knew I was suffering, but it took until today to realize that, just how much, and I don't have to deal with that anymore. It's over. I might still have some daily pain, which is very manageable, but yeah. So I've been thinking a lot about, oh my god, how important it is to have a good support network in your life when you go through a surgery like a hysterectomy, or really anything, any surgery, but I think specifically when hysterectomies are so inherently tied to gender for a lot of people. For women, I don't even want to say just for women, for anyone, your reproductive organs are so tied to the way that people treat you, to the way that people engender you, to the way that people relate to you, and it's one of those things where I am so happy to have evicted my uterus and the whole shebang. I had a full hysterectomy, cervix, tubes, everything is gone. And not only is it affirming for my gender and the way that I I understand my gender, to no longer have to have my period, but as well, it's one of those things where, based on the books that I've been looking at and the vlogs and the communities that I've become a part of, to have your reproductive functionality altered in some way really makes it forces you to engage with your gender, and it forces you to engage with your sex and sexuality. And for me, I have had years where that was necessary. I've had years where I have been supported in that process by friends and family. I'm crying because for Surprise Pearls with the Shucking Mama, I wanted to do a celebratory raffle. Not a raffle, not technically a raffle, but a celebratory like sale. And it sold out within minutes. Like, these are people who don't know me. And they just, because of their brief interactions with me, just professionally, the reaction was just so overwhelming. And to know that so many people are thinking of me and are wishing me well, oh man, is so overwhelming, and it's so lovely. I feel so lucky to have the people in my life, regardless of their position in my life, who are so kind and compassionate. And I can't imagine going through this process if I wasn't supported like I am. I can't imagine going through this process if I were a cis woman. I can't imagine going through this process if I hadn't already done so much footwork to find out and be comfortable and be solid in who I am. And I don't know where this one's going. I've been talking for 5 minutes and I don't know what about, but luckily, it's the magic of editing, right? My heart goes out to those people who don't have the support network, who don't have the foundation of self-love and of the ability to interrogate themselves. I made a joke with one of my profs. One of the books that I found, I'm not going to be able to remember the title exactly without looking it up, but the tagline or the title was Life After Hysterectomy, Am I Still a Woman? And I made a joke, or she made a joke that, like, well, I sure as fuck hope not, Brielle. And it was funny, right? Because I sure as fuck hope that I'm not a woman, either before or after surgery. But it's heartbreaking to think that that's something people have to go through. That's
something that people need to interrogate for themselves without often without a community, right? Like you can join books on face groups on Facebook. I've joined a few myself, um, but it's it's still one of those things where it's so taboo to talk about. It's it's such a major thing, but that grief and that loss of a part of you is so taboo, and I think this is partly related to the ways in which grief itself is taboo. The right, like there's just so much going on, right? Like it's taboo to talk about gender, it's taboo to interrogate gender, it's taboo to talk or interrogate grief and the ways that we grieve, and it's taboo to come into this celebratorily. And I think when I thought of doing this project, I was honestly just going to like look at titles of books and think about the ways that um, gender was enforced through those titles. And in speaking with my nurses and in having these experiences, these overwhelming experiences myself, I think that it's not simply enough to do a literary review on something like this. This goes back to, I think, part of the way that I do research in general, where it's so important for us to center ourselves in our research and say, this is my positionality in relation to these things that I'm speaking about. And like I knew that I would have to do that, but I almost thought it would be fun or not. This is fun. Honest, I'm crying, but like I am very happy. Uh, but like funny, and it's honestly just one of those things where like it's like a visceral it's literally a visceral feeling actually, that this pain that I am in is meant like imaginable for me, because I think I said in one of my older videos, my older vlogs that I recorded, that um, this post-surgery pain is quite frankly approximately what my period pain was. And so like this pain is very understandable for me, but I wasn't anticipating having to feel that empathy or feel that compassion for other people, because I thought this was like a very personal experience. And I don't know why I thought that, because I know that, or I believe in multi-body systems, right? Like there is Brielle the individual, Brielle the social, Brielle the body politic, and for some reason I just didn't think to interrogate the social or the body politic before getting my pain under control and having a moment to sit and contemplate it, right? Yeah, like I say, this is very rambly, but thank God for the power of editing. So, I just got home. I am feeling pretty great actually right now, which is fantastic. I have some snacks. I'm probably going to watch maybe one episode of a TV show, and then I'm going to lay down and sleep because it's really hard to sleep in a hospital. Um, I think that my plan for today is to try and tap her easy, and my plan for tomorrow is try to tap her easy, and my plan for Monday is probably trying to tap her easy. My stitches come out like 3 to 5 days, but I can just go to my regular doctor for that, so that's exciting. And I am really looking forward to everything, really. Life just seems pretty fucking great right now. So, this is the first time I get to be comfy cozy in my own bed at home without a uterus, and it's honestly so good. I lit some incense. I made my bed before I went to the hospital, so it was nice and ready for me. And I'm not really in any pain. So I am really only anticipating good things from here on in. And I think that's pretty fucking badass. I keep getting more comments from people telling me how much they support me and how much they're like excited for me. And it's just, yeah, just so nice to know that I don't have to go through this alone. I have so many people who are willing to help me or support me in different ways. Yeah, I think that this project is maybe going to turn into something that interrogates those support systems and looks at the way that these support systems influence the way that we perceive hysterectomies and the way that we perceive women as people who have them. I don't know if I like that wording. I'm going to come back to this thought later. So today's day 2 away from surgery, and I'm really reminded of how slow and weak I am and how much I have to rely on others, which is, I don't know, I don't like it, but I appreciate that I have people to rely on. My pain has been very manageable today. With that said, I just took my medication 40 minutes early because I need to go to sleep, and I can't. I won't be able to sleep with the pain happening, so hopefully that helps. I don't know, I'm thinking about this project a lot and how it would have been fun if I had arranged it so that I could upload like a daily vlog, but like today was just kind of a chill day. It was like we went to Walmart and then Danny and I played video games for a bit and watched a couple movies. And yeah, I think that today is just going to kind of blend in with the other days. And hopefully that's kind of what happens. Like, I'm kind of hoping that my healing is very uneventful. But at the same time, I think that these vlogs should be focused on like specific thoughts that I have. I ordered a notebook with activities after a hysterectomy, so I'm excited to get that and see how it plays into the project. But I'm still not quite sure what I'm doing here. I'm still not sure what I'm doing with this. I think maybe tomorrow I'll watch back over some old videos and do some editing, but we'll see if I have the energy. That is something that I did notice today, is that my energy is quite low. I get tired very quickly, and it's honestly just easiest for me to like sit, which is fair. I don't think I need to be pushing myself at all. All of my deadlines are very malleable, so it's not as though I need to rush myself, which is nice, but I don't want to fall behind either. So we'll see. We'll see. I missed my vlog yesterday because Danny and I started having really in-depth conversation, and I didn't want to do anything to mess that up. And then I had to go to bed right away. I was so tired. I'm still so tired. But I ripped out one of my stitches by accident last night. I did it while I was sleeping, so it wasn't painful or anything, but I'm just glad that it was healed enough that it didn't wake me up or anything like that. I just noticed that the stitch was gone when I woke up this morning. Just fine. I have to go get them removed tomorrow anyway. I've been thinking a lot about how weak I am, which is like not as a knock or anything, but just I'm really tired all the time, and it hurts to move, and I thought that I wouldn't need the support that I'm getting, but I tried to put dishes away yesterday, and like I couldn't lift my arms all the way above my head, and I dropped my phone on the floor, and I went to go pick it up as though it was nothing, and it was so bad. And yeah, I keep coming back to this idea that this would be like, this is hard, and this would be just so much harder if I was also struggling with my gender identity, if I was also struggling with my sexuality, if I was also struggling with ideas of my identity as a person, and I'm not, right? Like, I'm not any of those things, and this is still hard as fuck. And it's really making me appreciate that there are those resources for people out there. Like, those books that I originally thought were just kind of like sad. Like, I feel more compassion towards them. I'm glad that those kinds of resources exist. And I think that for this project, in the end, I might end up doing both 308 and 497 together, and doing like annotated bibliographies. I'm not entirely sure yet, because I really do like the Girls Who Code project, and I don't want to mess that up at all, or like change that, but I just feel like once I do start getting writing about this, as opposed to quote unquote just recording these things, I'm gonna have more to say than I anticipate. So we'll see. I might put a pot, like, I haven't been working on anything the last couple of days because it's hard to keep my attention for too long, but I might try and work on the video editing for this, and work on, like, maybe it would be the vlogs are one final project and the assessment is another, but I don't think that's a fair way to break it up. So maybe the vlogs and the research are one, and then the essay component or the breakdown component is the other. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. Like I say, I keep coming back to this idea of foundations of support, and how that's not what's promoted. Like, the idea that's promoted is that you need these books in order to make it through this situation, rather than you need a support network to make it through this situation. And I think that's one project. That's a 497 thing. That's how media is being used around hysterectomies. But I think gender and sexuality comes into it as a huge important part of it as well, because that's also something that you have to interrogate for yourself, and that's also something these books force you to interrogate, and I don't think that they adequately could or would prepare you for that, having done that work myself. So there's definitely two major threads running through here that are just like very interwoven, and I'm looking at my time, but they're very interwoven and very interconnected, and to prioritize one over the other would be like false to me. So we'll see how that goes. But that's this morning's one. I'm gonna still vlog tonight. I need to transfer all these files to my computer, but I'll try to still vlog tonight. We're going to Macewan for a little while today, and gonna be stopping and getting some incense, hopefully, because I've been having, like, I'm sleepy as hell, but I've been having problems relaxing before bed because I'm in so much pain, which is, like, entirely understandable. I'm not down on myself for that, but I do need to get back into my sleep habit, which is like incense and doing some meditation and relaxing, and so yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I just cleaned off my phone, and I have so much time to ramble again, which is lovely. Danny and I just got back from going to Macewan for a little while, and then we went to Ascendant Books, and that was lovely. I got some incense, which I was looking forward to, and I think I might do some like incense shots as part of my supercut, which I'm pretty sure is what's going to be happening with this project. I'm going to do one video for media, and then one video for identity, and maybe do like a summary video to connect them. I'm realizing I need to get a tripod, so I'm probably going to order one tomorrow, mostly for Facebook Live. Like, by the point it gets here, I won't be doing these vlogs anymore, but I think that this shaky cam thing is definitely a look, and I don't know if it was the look I was going for, but we're here now. While we were out, though, I had a moment where I realized that now that I've had... So there's two things I want to touch here. One is that I identify as disabled, and it's definitely an identity marker for me as opposed to like a descriptor. And not even as opposed to, but in addition to a descriptor, let's say. And now that I've had my hysterectomy, the majority of why I consider myself disabled is gone. So I didn't even think of like what that would entail, but it's definitely something I'm wanting to unpack now that I've had that thought, because I've been vlogging a lot about how I don't have to interrogate my gender identity or anything like that as part of this process, but definitely I have to interrogate my disabled identity. And as well, I realized that for me, this was mostly like a medically necessary procedure in order to ease my pain. But on my admission sheets and everything like that, the reason I had surgery is because I'm transgender. And so I understand why they had to do that. Like, I definitely skated through on a technicality. Like, it being transgender gave me the access to a hysterectomy in order to treat my endometriosis, or treat my most severe endometriosis symptoms. But it's definitely weird that like endometriosis was comorbid with being transgender, as opposed to me being transgender being comorbid with endometriosis. So the, like, what's the word I'm thinking? Indexicality of my illnesses was definitely really interesting, and I'd like to look at that more. I'm vlogging.
Cool.
Your back is wet.
Yeah, I'm never gonna dry myself.
Did you shower already?
Yeah.
You're done?
Yeah?
Wow. Do you not relax in the shower?
No.
What the
I
fuck?
never relax. I'm tense all the fucking time.
Yeah, okay.
Way to kill.
Legit. I'm realizing I don't have anything else to say, but I don't know how to close out this vlog.
Legit.
So, today I've been thinking a lot about what it means for me to be disabled and whether or not that's something that I can continue to say moving forward. One of the things for me is that a lot of the time in media, you don't see invisible disabilities to begin with. Like, I very rarely see characters who are struggling. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a single character who is struggling with invisible illness. And so, with respect to my endometriosis, it's one of those things where I am gonna prop up my arm with my pug body pillow. Okay. So, with respect to my endometriosis, it's one of those things where my identity as a disabled person came from myself knowing that I experience chronic pain and I require specific alterations to my lifestyle that other people would not require. And I gained access to that term by indexing my experiences against other experiences of people that I know, as opposed to people that I see in media. Now that endometriosis, and like I can't see the future, so my symptoms could return, my symptoms could get worse, whatever. But if all goes as planned, my symptoms will no longer be to the severity that they were because I'm no longer experiencing my period, which is where most of my, like, between my period and ovulation, 2 weeks of the month was gone because my pain was unmanageable during those times. My daily pain is very manageable, but based on the assessment by my gynecologist, it's likely that I will continue to have daily pain, but it will be alleviated by up to 40% was her estimate. So what I took that as, and what she confirmed for me, was that I would probably see my daily pain reduce by 2 to 4 points. And that would take me from, like a 5, sometimes a 6, to perhaps even a 2, right? Like, it could be more annoying than painful. And that's ideal. For me, now, when I'm thinking about it and thinking about how further away on the index from disabled I am, because of surgery, I'm not sure if it's a term I will continue to have access to. I have other things that cause me to be disabled. So I experience mental illness and I experience chronic migraines, but by no means do I find them debilitating to the same capacity as endometriosis is/was. And so that's something that I'm struggling with today. And I think as well, like, my mental illness is very severe. Well, my mental illness is moderate to severe, let's say, because it affects my daily life, but I'm still able to participate in a number of activities as long as I can alter them in some way. And so definitely I think with either my migraines or my mental illness alone, I would be capable of indexing myself as disabled. However, that said, because there are now even fewer outward signs of my illness, so I am hopefully not going to have to use my cane as often, not that I use it very often already. I wonder if I have access to that term. And I wonder if I do or I don't, how can I justify that? Like, how can I justify my decision to continue using or to not continue using that term? As well, like, I am currently saving up for a service dog, which will then index me higher as disabled. Or index me as a liar. One of those two. And so it's weird. It's a weird position to be in. I'm happy to be in this position, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely a little bit odd, a little bit strange. I don't know that I will be including this angle, like, I'm still trying to think about how I'm going to be arranging this. I think that I want to do, like, a supercut with timestamps and show the chronology of these little forays, these vlogs that aren't quite vlogs. But I'm also partial to the idea of just uploading them, letting it be, and doing like a summary statement kind of thing. So I put a poll up on Twitter, and it's literally 50-50 right now between a supercut and a daily vlog, so we'll see how that goes. But definitely I think that this is something that I would have a much harder time proving. Like, with respect to gender, it's very easy to look at the titles of books and be like, there are other options, you don't have to do this. Are you still a woman? Am I still a woman? Is like I'm going to get a list of the ones I find on Amazon, but for someone who was disabled by their symptoms and now has like this immense freedom based on this situation, it's not a narrative that I've seen often. Generally, the narrative that I've seen with hysterectomies is there's an emergent situation, and this is the treatment, right? The treatment that's offered. So like with fibroids and cysts and things like that. But it's used less to control chronic pain, from like very colloquially, anecdotally, from what I can tell. So I see similarities in my narrative with these titles. Things like, did you look at other options? Like, what are the alternatives? And I absolutely did. Been doing it for over a decade, and I also see the dissimilarities. It's going to be interesting to see how all of these short little clips kind of play together, because I definitely don't see a form in the chronology. I think it's very jumping around, and so the idea of providing the chronology and then providing a summary is something that I like. But I also wonder how the format is. So we spoke in class about how the media that you choose to express is important to your message. And Marshall McLuhan, obviously, the media is the message, but I wonder what why did I choose vlogs as opposed to writing? Why did I choose vlogs as opposed to podcasting? And I think back to a couple of my earlier vlogs, and like my emotions were running so high. Like, I was crying, and I'm not going to say that I won't cry again, but it was overwhelming to think about all of the changes and the things that were going on around me, being in the hospital, being away from sushi, and I think that that's important to this. The emotion and expression of emotion is important to this. Um, like, I don't like putting myself on the spot like that, but I think it's important to show that this is an emotional experience. You can't detach yourself from that emotional experience. I've watched back on some of my vlogs and I can see myself dissociating, and that's I mean, that is what it is. I have mental illness and it's something that I know happens, but to be dissociated constantly from it, to be so far removed from it, is not worth it. It's not worthwhile. There's definitely something to be said for that expression and that carrying of emotion. So maybe the vlogs were a good idea. I'm regretting video editing. I'm really not looking forward to that, but I think the vlogs were a good idea. So that's it for today. Tomorrow I'm going to go get my hair cut. I think I'm just going to tell them to make me look like Chris Pine. I don't know. I don't think they can work that kind of magic, but Danny and I watched Wonder Woman today, which pisses me off, because Chris Pine, like, spoiler alert, Chris Pine dies at the end. And it makes me, tugs at my heartstrings. Chris Pine, like, the 2009 Star Trek movie is one of my ride or die movies. I have such a connection to Pine's Kirk, even in the shitty sequels, that is hard to explain adequately. But we watched Wonder Woman, really loved Chris Pine's hair, thought it was fantastic. And I guess the movie was okay, but now I'm thinking about the Amazons. Wonder if the Amazons had their periods, what that would look like. That's definitely something Marston would have included at some point, I'm sure. Well, no, not necessarily. He really wanted the Amazons to be, like, strong and unimpeded. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna see if the Amazons had periods. But yeah, thinking about the social body of the Amazons and the removal of Diana with respect to, like, it could be an allegory for a hysterectomy, but we don't see, like, Themyscira after Diana has left, so we don't know what the impact is. We only see that Diana has left and what Diana's life is like after. Anyways, that's the plan for tomorrow. Going to getting my hair cut and getting my stitches out. Really excited about that. I really hope I don't pull another one tonight. But if I do, I hope I don't wake up. So, I never know how to end these. I wonder if I should just find, like, a GIF and use it as a way for, like, between videos. I don't know. Alright, I'm out. So I went and I had my stitches removed today, which was good. One of my stitches is infected. Not by a lot, so I just have to put a cream on it. Hopefully it'll clear up by the time I go back on Monday. And I'm still really nauseous. Like, the pain is fairly easy to deal with, but the nausea is just overwhelming sometimes. And so I'm sleeping a lot, which, like, I'm annoyed by it, I'm not gonna lie, but I think that my body is healing, and I need to let it do that. One thing, though, is that I've gained, like, 15 pounds in last week from just not moving, and that's actually really bothering me. I try to not let my weight define me, or I let it define me in, like, positive ways, but it's usually very easy for me to control, but then sometimes, like, when I do gain weight, I gain it in bursts, and I don't appreciate it. So it's not something I can really worry about right now. It's not as though like I can't really exercise. I can't go swimming, and I can walk, which is about the exercise I got before, but I definitely can't walk as far or for as long. So it's one of those things where for right now I just gotta accept that it is what it is. And I started looking at personal trainers at Macewan, which is something that I would be into if Macewan weren't so far away. It's like I worry about getting depressed, being depressed, and it's hard for me to do things when I'm really depressed, and I don't want to, like, I'm scared of making a commitment like that and then not being able to follow through. It's one of the reasons I'm not taking classes this summer, is because Macewan is too far away for me to, like, commit to doing that commute even when I'm depressed. Like, yeah, it's hard, but healing is good. It's what's important right now. And I got a gift from an online friend, so I'm recording this one with my phone again, but I think whenever Danny heads home, I'll start recording them with the webcam, because it's a very nice webcam, so I'll start doing that. The Twitter poll wasn't helpful, so I think that what I'm gonna do is do both. Like, I'll post each of these videos individually, and then at the end I'll make like the two larger videos, one for 308 and one for 497. I'm pretty committed to doing videos for both of them now, just because, like, I have close to an hour of video now, unedited, and I still have a few days to go. So it's one of those things where, yeah, it's one of those things where I just gotta do it, gotta put in the work. But I think that's my update for now. Today was fairly I got my hair cut. I went in and I was like, "Have you seen Wonder Woman?" She said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Can you make me look like Chris Pine in Wonder Woman?" She just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, I don't expect a miracle. I just really like his hair. And she definitely, honestly delivered. Like, it's one of those things where I'm gonna have to learn to texturize my own hair, because I'm not used to using product, but I'm definitely excited about it. And I had my eyebrows threaded, and that was awful. I'll probably do it again, but yeah, it was like really bad pain right at the beginning, but it goes away so fast, for me anyways, that it definitely was like ripping off about 10 bandages. But then once it's over, like, I don't feel it, right? And I don't have the ingrown hairs or anything yet. Anyways, I'll see tomorrow, but I don't have any problems with the skin that I do, like, when I get them waxed. So that was exciting. Today was honestly a day of treating myself, and I'm glad that I did it. I was really sore when I got home. Like, it was definitely, I've been pushing myself a little bit too far yesterday and today. Not yesterday, day before yesterday, and then today. So I really do have to rein that in, but it's one of those things where like I just keep coming back to the fact that I've had worse periods than this, right? Like I even when I was in the hospital, I've had worse period pain than I have post-operative pain at this point. And so it's just so manageable, right? Like it's unbelievably manageable. I have to make sure that I'm not pushing myself too hard because I don't want to slow down my healing, but at the same time, I yeah, like there's it I can think of situations that I've been in much worse pain for much longer. So, yeah, I'm very impressed with how my body is healing, less the gaining of the weight, less the, residual little pains and whatever that it has, but I'm I'm glad. I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I'm healing. I'm glad that I decided I had to take the time away from my regular life, let's say, to do this. Because it really is the beginning of a new life for me, right? Like of a new chapter of my life, so that's exciting. I think that I'm running out of time, but I think the last thing I want to say is that I really want to do like a term list and try and focus on the different terms as they relate to this project. So, future Brielle, remember that. And I think that's it. Ooh. So I'm sorting through my footage, and I am like, okay, so the writing process is like a legit thing that people have to go through, right? Like, but I am struck by how much I have to say without looking up my sources, and I I worry that I'm not sourcing enough material for this. And like I know it's a personal project, right? Like I wanted to have a record of my hysterectomy, and I definitely have that. But it also needs to fulfill the requirements for like school and for like an academic project. And so I'm just not sure if I'm doing that. Yeah, I have some concerns. But I'm not sure if I did an update yesterday. I'm still sorting through all my video, but um, just to give give an update. I'm pretty sure I did, but no. Let's just to do an update. I had two of my stitches removed, two of the three. The one that I removed myself on accident didn't tear or anything, but then one of them was infected or is infected. So I have to work on that and make sure that that is okay. And I got a haircut, and it's so much nicer than my last one. I'm very impressed with it. I had my eyebrows threaded, and I don't have anything on them right now, but my lips keep bleeding. Like, I mean, on one hand, it's very punk of me, but on the other hand, I would prefer if they didn't. So, I'm trying to keep them moisturized, but I think it's the medication. Because of my antidepressants, when I take over-the-counter painkillers, and I'm taking Tylenol right now, I tend to bleed excessively. which like explains my bruising and the fact that my lips keep bleeding because they're so dry, and I had a nosebleed last night. But apparently that's fine. That's not anything to be concerned about, so that's cool. I yeah, I've been pushing myself too hard the last couple of days, and I'm definitely feeling it now. I'm doing my best to like take it easy, but like I've gained a lot of weight in the last week alone because I'm not moving around enough. Or no, I'm not moving around, but that's good because it means that I'm able to take it easy and heal. However, comma, it does mean that I'm gaining weight. So I don't know. My mom and I had a conversation yesterday about whether or not because her biggest concern is that I would be depressed after surgery. Um, and I definitely don't think that, like, I think surgery pulled me out of a depression or helped to pull me out of a depression. But I do find that I'm getting down on myself for the weight gain and for requiring the help that I do. Danny is still here, and my dad has been helping me out a lot as well, and I don't like it. Like I like having Danny here, and I love my dad, but I don't like having to rely on others, and so it's been a bit of a process. Um, Remembering to ask for help and remembering not to push myself too hard. But Danny and I are going to go to the mall today and do some walking around. And I'm really excited about that, just to get out of the house and whatnot. I'm not allowed to take baths, but I think that we're going to go to Lush anyways, and I might get a bath bomb to like be celebratory for like when I can take baths again in a couple of weeks. And I'd like to look at some dresses just because I have been wearing pants, but like I also think that that's not the best idea. It has been not painful. Like I don't want to say that I'm in pain. Ooh, ooh. I don't want to say that I'm in pain. But I'm definitely like I can feel that I have just had surgery. So, uh, yeah, they told me that my pain, like on a scale, should be between 3 and 5, and I think that I'm definitely like when my medication wears off, I'm a 5, and like right now, I'm a 4, and that's very reasonable considering that's like maybe 1 point higher than I am on an average day. So, like, I one of the things I'm struggling with is struggling with the terms because I know that for someone who like doesn't deal with chronic pain, this would suck, right? Like this would be debilitating to be in moderate pain, right? Um, oh. Oh, fuck. But for me, I'm in like mild to moderate pain every day. And so, to be 1 to 2 points higher than I am on an average day is very reasonable to me, especially considering I just had surgery. The thing that is getting me a lot though is that I am so nauseous constantly. And if I take Gravol, um, I'm so tired. And I can stay awake with it, but it's not like or a pleasant awakeness. Um, so that sucks. I'm gonna try looking for some like daytime gravel, like the ginger stuff today, but I have mixed results with that because it tends to give me heartburn, and I'm not sure if that's the trade-off that I'm willing to do yet. I think I'd rather be sleepy at this point, but we'll see. And yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the pain scale and about how this is very manageable for me, but I definitely don't believe that it would be manageable for, like, you know, Jane Blow. It's not good. I don't like that. Jane Doe. For other people who are having a hysterectomy. Like, it's obviously unpleasant, and I'm not sure what words I should be using around that. And I'm not sure that there's like I thought about looking this up and seeing if there's literature around hysterectomies regarding word use, like specifically linguistic, anthropological, or sociological word use. And I don't think that there's anything really there. But ugh, sorry, I'm just so nauseous. Yeah, I'm too nauseous. Okay, I went and I took some Gravol and drank some ginger ale, and hopefully that helps. But anyways, pain, words about pain, and words about hysterectomies. It just doesn't exist. No one studied it. And like, definitely not with respect to the differentiation between the situations of hysterectomy. So situations where it's celebratory versus situations where it's not. And I think that's the primary divide that I'm experiencing, because for me it's definitely celebratory. Like I say, it's helping to pull me out of the depression that I've been experiencing. My pain is very manageable, and I know it's only going to get more manageable from here. So that's very uplifting. Like, it's unbelievably, it's a weight off my pelvis, is what it is. But I know that that's not the situation for everyone, and so the words to describe pain, because I know how much, like, our word choice is influenced by our state of mind and our state of being and our ideologies surrounding situations. So if I'm coming at this in a celebratory fashion, my word choice is going to be more positive, or the assumption that I'm making is that my word choice will be more positive than someone who is coming at this from a place of, like, pain or loss. And
How you feeling today, kiddo?
nauseous, but otherwise really good.
A little nauseous, eh?
A little nauseous. I'm gonna try getting some daytime Gravol just because I am tired of sleeping all the time.
That's an idea.
Yeah. My dad. But, yeah, like, the word choice is obviously going to be different between myself and someone who's coming at this from a place of loss. And I am not sure. I'm not sure where I should be looking to base that assumption on, or to further research that. So I think that's definitely not something I'll be covering as part of this project, but I think something that I might like to research in the future. I'm going to a perimenopause and menopause workshop this weekend, and I'm not going to be taking field notes or anything, but I will be taking notes for myself, and my anthropology brain doesn't stop, so definitely, sorry, I have to brace myself because moving hurts, but definitely I'm excited to do that because like, obviously I'm going to experience symptoms of menopause despite being 26, and I think getting resources for that is going to be very helpful for me, because one of the things I'm most worried about is continuing to be nauseous. I spent most of my childhood throwing up and being nauseous before we figured out what was going on and started treating it. And I don't want to go back to that. And I've heard that that's a fairly common symptom of menopause, so that's not exciting. And hot flashes, because I'm already, like, I'm a big guy, and I'm sweaty all the time. so I don't want hot flashes. But you deal with the cards you're given, and yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm I'm excited for today. I'm excited for this weekend. I got offered a job that I definitely wasn't anticipating to be offered, and I think I'm going to take it. Definitely the idea that I no longer have to worry about being in pain for 2 weeks of the month, or being in like excruciating pain as opposed to, quote unquote, just pain, um, is definitely something that's pushing me forward. The fact that I can't use a telephone consistently yet is worrisome, but I'm going to be talking to my doctor on Monday about getting a prescription to just be like, I know I'm going to have a panic attack. What can I do to ease that panic attack while it's happening that I know is going to happen? At least at the beginning, right? Like, obviously, I'm I'm anticipating that as I'm eased into it, it will do exactly that, ease into it. But we'll see. Um, Monday is when I get that last stitch out, hopefully, as long as it's not, still infected. And so definitely going to be bringing that up. But it's an exciting time. I think that's one of the things that made me realize that I actually do experience depression, is just that it's always an exciting time in my life. Like, I I have a great support network, and I have great people around me, and things like honestly come up real. Like, I I put myself out there a lot, um, regardless of my mental health, and even when like rejections happen, there's still so many other good things going on because I'm putting myself out there. And so, yeah, things are good, and hopefully they only get better. And today will be fun. Today will be mall walk day. I haven't done a mall walk since I was a teenager, so we'll we'll see how that goes. But I know we're hot end these. So it's officially 1 week since I had surgery, and things are going really well. Um, I sorted through some of my footage yesterday, and I think that today I'm going to try editing some of it, but not before I work on my podcast. I have a lot of work to do. Danny and I went to the mall yesterday, and it was really great. We came home and watched Totally Spies, and then I went to bed because I definitely did push myself too hard again. And that seems to be a running theme, is that I I don't know my limits right now, and I need to prop up my arm. Oh, look, my headboard is gross. My room is honestly gross too. I was thinking of working in here while Danny is still sleeping, and I can't. I My desk is a hot mess, um, and it's not going to take me very long to clean it, but it's just an effort that I'm not willing to expend right now. I will work at the living room for the foreseeable future. Oh boy, my eyebrows look really nice today. Yep. But, um, yeah, I don't even know if I have a whole lot of updates, just because, um, like, I've been healing remarkably well. Things have been going very good. Yesterday, when we went shopping, I bought a bunch of dresses, so I won't have to wear pants anymore, which is honestly ideal, because, like I said before, I don't know if hurt is the right word. Like, I don't know if it's pain, but it's definitely uncomfortable for me to be wearing pants right now, and I also have like a fuck ton of laundry to do, so all of the dresses that I have already, like, are I've worn them to the point where I need to wash them, and I want to say that that's my goal for today is to get some laundry done, but the idea of tackling the stairs still causes me like some anxiety just because even like stepping up onto the porch or like the landing at the front of our house is hard. And so I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with that. I need to do long. Like I have nice dresses I can wear for the next couple of days, but like I need to do laundry tomorrow. I'm going to that menopause thing, and that's gonna take all day. And then um, Sunday, Sunday I don't have anything going on actually, so I might do it then. But I haven't had many more thoughts about um, whatchamacallit, the projects that I'm doing, with the exception of I think what I'm finally going to do is I'm going to upload all of my footage unedited and then make my projects so that people can either look at the project or look at the unedited vlogs or both. And I think that's going to be the yeah, the easiest way for me to do it. Either that or I'll upload all of the footage unedited and include citations. That one, like with a summary, I don't like that one as much, but it would be the easiest of the options. But I don't know if I'm ready to take the easy way out. But yeah, that's what I got. Today is hopefully going to be pretty chill. Like I say, going to try and work on some homework. And we'll go from there.